is where fresh banana leaves begin their transformation into a high-value organic fertilizer product.
Powerful rollers break down the leaf structure so the material can move into the next stage of processing.
At this stage, the banana leaves have become a uniform green feedstock, ready for blending and formulation.
Everything starts here in the field, where fresh banana leaves are gathered and prepared for transport.
From the plantation road to the processing floor, speed and freshness matter at every step.
Once inside, the leaves enter a carefully controlled production line built for high-volume organic conversion.
The wash tunnel removes field dust and debris while keeping the leaves fresh for processing.
Each rinse pass is designed to clean thorough without damaging the leaf material needed for fertilizer production.
After washing, the leaves move through a controlled transfer section before mechanical breakdown begins.
Here, the cleaned leaves are staged evenly to prepare for size reduction and blending.
The leaf structure is now reduced into smaller pieces that are easier to blend and process consistently. The chopped leaves are transferred into mixing vessels where the fertilizer formula begins to take shape.
Measured additives are introduced here to help build a stable, nutrient-rich fertilizer blend. Inside these mixers, moisture and formulation are balanced to create a uniform fertilizer base.
Automated controls and trained operators work together to keep the fertilizer blend consistent from batch to batch.
By this point, the formula is developing the uniform texture needed for downstream processing.
Once blending is complete, the material is discharged in a controlled stream for shaping and finishing.
The blended fertilizer mass is spread evenly, so the next machines can refine it with precision.
This finishing line is closely watched to make sure the material stays uniform as it moves toward granulation.
The process now shifts from formulation to finishing, where the organic fertilizer takes on its final usable form.
Cooling and airflow help stabilize the pellets before they move into final screening and collection.
The screening system helps create a more uniform final product by separating the pellets cleanly.
After screening, the pellets are collected and prepared for exact weight control at the packaging line.
Every portion is weighed precisely to keep the packaged fertilizer consistent and reliable for customers.
Now the finished pellets are entering the final packaging steps that prepare them for store shelves and shipment.
With sealing complete, the product moves into final handling for boxing, storage, and distribution. final bags are now boxed and sealed for efficient storage, shipping, and retail delivery.
With labeling complete, these cartons are ready to be grouped, stacked, and sent deeper into the distribution chain.
At the palletizing cell, sealed cartons are organized into stable loads for warehouse handling and transport.
Automated palletizing helps the factory move high volumes quickly while keeping every load uniform and secure.
Stretch wrapping locks the cartons into a stable unit so the load can travel safely through storage and shipping.
From here, the wrap pallets move into storage and outbound logistics, completing the factory side of the process.
At the loading dock, the finished fertilizer is staged for delivery to farms, stores, and distribution centers. Once loaded, the finished fertilizer leaves the plant and enters the distribution network. At the distribution hub, the fertilizer begins the next leg of its journey toward stores and end users.
Regional warehousing keeps the product ready for fast delivery to stores, farms, and garden suppliers.
After traveling through the supply chain, the fertilizer finally reaches the shelf where customers can buy it.
Now the story moves from production and retail into the places where the fertilizer is actually used.
From factory line to garden bed, the fertilizer's final purpose is to support healthy plant growth.
What began as raw banana leaves in a factory has now become a finished product, helping plants grow in the real world.
Applied properly around the plant base, the finished fertilizer becomes part of everyday growing practice.
In real growing spaces, the product is used as part of a simple, practical routine to support healthy plants.
Used consistently in the right setting, the fertilizer becomes part of the routine care behind healthy plant growth.
I think this tomato leaf has a spot. Let me see. It looks fine, just keep an eye on it.
After the machinery, logistics, and packaging, the product reaches the simple place where it matters most, around real plants.
In the end, the story comes back to healthy soil, working growers, and the daily care behind successful plants.
From harvest to factory to garden, every stage has turned a simple leaf into a useful finished product.
In the end, the whole story still begins with something as simple as a fresh banana leaf.
Here is where that raw leaf first enters the controlled industrial process that shapes its next life. By this stage, the material has become a uniform product ready for weighing, packaging, and shipment.
After every factory step and every mile of transport, the final purpose is still this simple moment in the soil. What started in the plantation moved through modern industry and ended where growers can put it to work.
From the first fresh leaf to the final growing bed, every step in the journey has had a purpose. After every machine, truck, warehouse, and store shelf, the product finally comes to rest, where growing really begins. Long before the conveyors and mixing tanks, the story began here in the plantation, under open daylight.
Between the field and the garden, this factory gave the raw material its second life.
In the end, the package matters only because of what it helps happen here among real plants and real soil.
The journey ends, but the daily work of growing continues long after the cameras are gone.
From one green leaf to a finished fertilizer, the whole journey has been a story of transformation, handling, and purpose.
What started as a simple banana leaf has ended as a finished product with a real place in the cycle of growing.